Okay. So I'm being a little bit of a fat ass, so um I'm reading this as and I'm writing. I mean, and I'm recording. As I'm eating. So I'm trying to be healthy, but I got me a rice bowl. But I did steal one of my sister keto bars. Them things is fire. No sugar added. Them things is fire. Okay. So honestly speaking, I talk shit because I understand where people are coming from, and I play the devil's advocate to get people's honest response. I personally don't mind paying all of the bills. Hey, 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 hey. I honestly don't mind paying all the bills. When I moved my ex and her kids in, I told her to keep her little money. Okay. I still cook mainly because I cook better than her. I'm always gonna be that guy. Even if we have small kids together, I'm always gonna help out with the rearing just like I did with my daughter. When her mom and I lived together, I know for a fact I was more hands-on with our child than she was. And I don't mind because it was never a thought. I I enjoyed actually daddying. Aw, that's sweet. I enjoyed actually daddying. However, I'm still going to stand behind going 50-50 because it simply makes sense in this economy. It bothers me to see women say that they have to go 50-50 with a man. He's just a roommate. Or she can't respect him as a leader and she won't be faithful, etc. Who's saying these things? Where y'all meeting these people at? Let me just pause right there because I don't know a single woman alive that is with a man, like being with this guy, like they in it, and he's saying, "Hey, I need some help with these bills." I don't know a woman alive that ain't finna roll up her sleeves and help her man. Because if you fall, I fall. Who are y'all dating? Where y'all meeting these people? Where y'all meeting these people? 50-50 man, he's just a roommate. Now I don't agree with the thing that you can't respect him because he's not a man. I think that's some internet shit, to be honest with you. I don't even think that that's some real life. I don't know no female who thinking like that. I don't know no woman who's thinking like that. Females, yes. I don't know a woman who's thinking like that. They're saying if he needs help, then he's not a man. No. Your character makes me question your manhood. Not if you need help. I just say you working, you making your 40 hours, you doing blah 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 blah, you doing everything that you need, like you know how to do, and you saying, "Oh, I'm just a little bit short on whatever bill, whatever." You think I'd be like, you can't pay? No, I'm like, here, let's. I don't want the water to get cut off. I want a shower too. I don't want the lights to get cut off. Like, where y'all meeting these people? I think this is some internet stuff. I think that y'all are mainly getting this perspective from people on the internet, and most people on the internet have not lived real life. The main people who have lived real life, they're just now getting on the internet. The ones that got the wisdom, they just now get into the internet. So for the past maybe 20 years, let's just say TikTok been around. I don't know how long TikTok been around. Let's just say they've been around for like 5 years. In the last 5 years, the older generation with the wisdom, they're just now getting on TikTok within the last year. So I'm just giving that as an example. So the ones that's been spewing this rhetoric that you're referring to, they just been running rain. They've just been wreaking havoc online this whole entire time, saying, "Oh, this is what all women think, and this is what," and the women, not the females, the women, they gonna be like, "What? Who said that?" Portia, who said that? I don't know a single woman who thinks like that. But okay. So this is saying, it bothers me to see blah blah blah. Okay. It irks me because it makes me think, what kind of world did I bring my daughter into? When I make these controversial claims, I'm not just talking about dating and relationships. I'm talking about our future as a society. More specifically, the black society and the people failing to take account and fully appreciate the fact we are raising our future. The kids. The children are our future. Sounds cliche, but it's the truth. We are I ain't gonna claim that. You are damaged at times. I think you think it's beyond repair. Well, what you trying to save it for? If you think it's beyond repair, what did you got all these opinions for? If you think it's beyond repair, why do you have this rhetoric? Because unless we fix the dating, relationship, marriage mindset, more and more of our kids will grow up with the same mindset and will just keep falling further and further behind as a people. Keep this in mind. Every critique I've given on someone is purely out of love. I don't speak on it I don't speak on it. It means I don't care about what happens to you. I want us to do better. That's all. Okay. This is what I don't like. I don't like the fact that most people who do this thinks that black people are a monolith, and that you can change the issue with black people as a whole without starting on an individual level. So most people, they don't want to look within themselves and say, okay, well, how did I contribute to this problem? How did I aid to this problem? How can I solve my part that I contributed to this problem? How can I solve that? They look at it and say, this is what the problem is and we need to fix it. No, you first need to start fixing you. That's just bottom line. You can't get over that. That's not something you can skip over. That's not a step that you can miss. That's not something. You have to first start fixing you. That's it. That's where all the change starts. Because until you start doing that, you're going to constantly be inside of the problem, looking at the problem. Instead of saying, you know what? I know how it felt. I'm not using this person. I'm saying as an example. I know how it felt to grow up without a father. So instead of me leaving and abandoning my children, I'm going to be a father and stand up and, be in my child's life. That's you fixing the problem. Okay, well, I know that education or bad credit or home ownership is an issue for black people. And so what I want to do is I want to show kids how do you break this cycle of living check to check? How do you break this cycle of not knowing how to start a business? How do you break this cycle? I'm going to start teaching that because those are things that I know how to do. You can't fix it on a global scale until you start with yourself. It's impossible because you're constantly looking at everything else when you are part of the problem. But I'm not going to say that I'm not saying that any of it is right or you're wrong. I know I've been saying what the issue is with black people for the longest. And it's mainly with the black children. That's where it all started at. That's where it started at with us. That's where it started with our parents. It starts at home. So the instant that you start having children outside of that nucleus, you become part of the problem. So instead of you saying, what can we do? You say, what can I do? And most of the time, most people who are usually looking at the problem like externally, they don't see the issues that are within themselves. You know what I mean? Because they don't think that their contribution is that big. Yeah, if you have a child, your child goes to school with somebody else's child. That child goes to school with somebody else. Like, they live in the same community. You know what I'm saying? So you might not, their parents might not be able to teach them certain core values. But because you teach core values to your child is now in the same school with them. They start being friends. If you're not involved in your children's life, then the person who doesn't have the core values, they're going to influence your child the most. So you want to influence your children to have strong core values so that when they go out and meet the people who don't have core values, they won't get swayed and contribute to the problem. That's how most people end up. That's how it's a perpetual cycle. It's not the fact that people are not living with their parents. These people just don't see their kids at all. That's the issue. It's not the fact that, we had children and we can't be together, so now that's not the problem, because ironically enough, it would have been healthier. I came from like a dysfunctional family. My father stayed. I prayed every day that my mama left my daddy. Every single day, because we were miserable. It wasn't a good feeling. I didn't like him. He wasn't a good father. It did more damage when he was there than if he would have left. Period. So all of that, they got to stay together and this and that. No, they don't. So that's my perspective.